We had the Roseanne, our Roseanne episode got taken down. Do a little bit of business with you guys here. Our Roseanne episode got taken down, and we got strikes on YouTube. A strike on YouTube, and we couldn't post for a week. Those were the rules. And at first, I was really shocked. I believe that what Roseanne said was satire, right? I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that she is a comedian. I know she's a comedian. We're having a conversation. She was being satirical. To me, very evident. Now, YouTube has their own policies. They have hate speech policies, and that's what we got our strike for, was hate speech. And I think I was kind of offended by that. I didn't think that was, I didn't think that it was fair. And I think the toughest part was there's no communication. You don't get to communicate with YouTube really about it. Right? This ruling comes from like a place you can't, or people you can't communicate with or access. And then that's how they do it, right? And now I understand they have their policies and they have to do their best to uphold their policies, right? And I'm thankful to YouTube. I'm very grateful that it exists, right? Because I have a place to speak from. I have a platform from which to talk and a place to host a show. Like, I'm very grateful for that. Truly am. But yeah, I think the tough part was just that it felt like there was no communication about it. It was just like, this is what it is. And I understand that's their policies. But I think there was, there should be, I feel like you should have some conversation about it. Because for YouTube, they call you like partners, right? You're like, we're partners, because I'm not an employee of YouTube, but I'm a partner. That's what they call it, that you're a partner, YouTube partner. And so, yeah, I just felt like if I'm a partner, then let's at least have a discussion with me about what's going on. So you can hear what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. So I think that was the toughest part. I just felt like it was kind of, I felt like there was no chance for me to speak or share what I was thinking or feeling. And maybe that's just how it is. That's business. So I don't know. I had some different feelings about it. I also have to take into account that I want to be able to have a show. I want to be able to connect with people. And just times are different. People could say, well, you can still have your voice even if you lose a channel or your social media gets taken down. You still have your own voice, which is true. But times have changed. It's like, it's not just a soapbox in your neighborhood anymore, in your tribe. Your people are communicating with a lot more people at once and on bigger levels. Or different levels. But when you communicate something out in social media or on YouTube, it's accessible to more people. So it's not like you're just standing on your soapbox, in a town hall or something. So it's really like YouTube has kind of become like paper, like they're the paper. All these social media platforms, they're the paper now. And it's almost, sometimes it feels like, well, the paper gets to determine what's written on it. Whereas it used to feel more like, hey, you can write what you want on this paper and deal with consequences or interpretations of it. But now sometimes it feels like, well, if you put something on this paper, the paper is now determining what you're even allowed to. It's like as if a piece of paper, you're writing stuff on it, and the paper was able to edit as you're writing. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's just, it's just an interesting time. Now, what was really crazy was that when the episode got taken down, I believe that it should be able to live somewhere, right? I believe that it was a great episode. I was really grateful to be able to talk with, a real matriarch. Yeah, a real matriarch of comedy. She is, I mean, there's nobody like Roseanne. And I know she's had a lot of like things that have come at her over the years, a lot of she always makes controversy. She always does. Sometimes it seems like it's too much for sure. Other times it seems like what you would expect out of a comedian, out of an instigator. It's kind of what you would expect. Because that's what challenges comedians in the first place. Like, oh, I can say this, I can't say this. How do I mill around this area of taboo, right? Whatever the taboo is. But then I put the episode onto Twitter because they allow longer form episodes now, or longer video on there. And then Elon Musk, the frickin' alien liaison, he shared it. And so that went, that was unbelievable. That, just the fact that he did it, now, and whatever you think about Elon, or whatever that's not it. That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking how here was like a man who's like an influential man, and he's sharing, me, Roseanne and I having a conversation. So it was just pretty fascinating. The whole experience was kind of fascinating. I think I was bummed out because I feel like I've done a lot of like neat work on YouTube, and I try and show up every week for the channel. And yeah, so I think that's what it was like. If we're partners, have a discussion. At least someone speak to me. But that's their platform. And that's their rules. And, a lot of times we have to play within the rules. If I walk onto a basketball court, I know the rules, and that's the rules.